Alright guys, now this is video number 3 in this biomechanical series that we're doing. Now we're talking about friction. Friction is the force that happens when two surfaces come into contact, and this force is going to be opposing, meaning it's going to be the opposite. Perfect example is when your foot strikes the ground. You're going to be pushing down and back with your foot, caused by your leg, of course. And friction is going to push up and in the opposite direction. That's why you're going to run the opposite direction of where your leg is actually going. So that force happens opposing, the two forces, and it's also going to be parallel to where the two forces come into contact. Let me give you an example. All right, let's talk about friction as it relates to spring. Actually, we'll talk about the foot strike. So we'll look at these. Look at these two guys. Look at their foot. It's going to be creating force both the opposite way and down, whereas friction is going to be opposite of that, and it's going to be proportionately opposite, meaning the harder the more force I create into the ground, going both down and back, you're going to get the proportional amount of force being created by the friction going both down the track and up. And so anyone who tells you that strength doesn't matter, obviously doesn't know the equation of friction. And so some things to think about too that is related to friction would be that the surfaces, like a softer and rougher surface, which is obviously why they have this on these tracks. Anyone who's ever been on one, they're got that softy but yet rough surface is going to have a bigger coefficient, or create more friction than something that's going to be harder and smoother. Like that's why if you got socks on, you can slide across most kitchen floors. So another thing to think about too is like static friction is higher than dynamic friction. Meaning static is when if you ever pushed a prowler or a sled, it was harder to get it started than it was to keep it going. So it's just some of the things to think about with friction.